Okay, alright. Cheers to another good clan battle presented on the gridiron here on Fall of Cybertron, as I wish a good game here respectively to Electro and the T.A.C.T family. It's a job well done, people. It's a job well done indeed. Okay, so let's back travel to the beginning of the weekend, which was Saturday. What day was Saturday? That was the 15th, I do believe it. Alright, Saturday, December the 15th. Alright, the bid to take this match happened on good circumstance following the caving in of the original planned arrangement this weekend that was set to happen between T.A.C.T and Atlas. I rearranged this to another group CB bid for the same weekend since Atlas was not readily available at the time given and the pre-appointed time given for the rendezvous. This clan was a lot more readily available than the latter previously pitched, so I went on ahead and agreed to having the clan battle. That way a weekend would not go to waste, and a whole lot of people that did want to try to get in some action on FoC can definitely try to get in some action respectively. And try to get some points going on the board so that way we can at least try to get a win out of today, if we do see some action. So, all hands here were set to go pretty much, and then at that point it was just now finding a new fourth player in order to represent T.A.C.T, since the past marked player that I indicated was not able to attend due to IRL. Around that same time, earlier that same afternoon, in that knowledge, I found out that Marines 3008, or the Numdays individual, was not far off from being reached today, as he was online to Discord watching his music videos while taking a private match with Leo, or so it was visibly shown. And so, when his match had finished up, I went on ahead and reached out to him in order to see if he could assist me in the clan outings today. And so he had time, and he said yes. So I went on ahead and did put my bid in to put him in for the majority of the rounds alongside Chaos Shadow, Hotshot Prime, and Star Adjutant. So, Star Adjutant, myself, Hotshot, and Numdies. Now, considering Numdies is predominant destroyer-based, then Star Adjutant would likely take a heavy build as well, which means that this leaves either Titan play or medic build. And since Hotshot did not run a medic build at that time, or did not have one prepared in order to try to implement or to field test, I went on ahead and had to sacrifice my position as a destroyer in order to make sure that we could have a designated medic that could do medic things for T.A.C.T. So that's no big deal. I was more than competent in trying to assess the outline here, because there was a necessity for two destroyers that did need to be here. Not so much Titans, but there did need to be destroyers, because I didn't have any other mains but those. I do have a set build in play that I was saving for Pride of Festoon, but I could instead use that and apply that here with doing a double destroyer strat, and having one on defense, one on offense, forward field lineup, forward field, and then one in the back on defense. So, since Marines is a highly predominant defensive player, it would prove rather effective to have him be on defense with the flag rather than directly in the field. And boy, did that play off at a lot of intervals. It was almost like I could honestly just sit him there and kind of forget about it, because the flag would more or less be in good hands, because you got to basically get past a wall in order to do anything. In that regard, while Marines did have his hands full with most of the people that would keep trying to press forward into the base, this allowed me an idea in order to relay a type of strategy to Hotshot and type one up to Marines in a sense during each time I died. So each time I did die, I also tried to give a relay to Marines on what I wanted to try to do next when I could get a hand off my controller in order to pop on my laptop and do the Discord thing while it's recording. There was a lot of plays that did go through and did not really succeed, but again, these were a lot of previous PF strategies that I did implement here and try them out here, because it was a pretty good layout that would work, I feel, against a number of pretty straightforward and aggressive based players that I've all seen before in the field. The problem here was offense on our end shifting, and I feel like my response time I don't feel was up to par like it usually would be all the past times I've ran medic. But I was doing the best I could do, I feel, and so I'm not going to stress it too much. Unfortunately, for the majority of that capture the flag, while we were able to get the flag just about every single time, there was a series of faults that did happen where we did fall short at a number of different times in order to successfully gain one flag capture on the board. Unfortunately, there was a time where I did give an idea in order to try to switch the flag. I gave an idea in order to try to switch the flag holder off. That way it would be a lot more useful for Star Adjutant and Hotshot to both be out in the field in order to get the flag at the same time, rather than Hotshot being at the base. Because if a scout's back at the base along with a destroyer, and a medic and a destroyer are out in the field rather than the medic staying with the flag holder, then the general progression of the clan battle kind of comes to a halt at that point, and it can only just continually be on defense, which is what you don't want, and it's what I did not want. I gave the signal at that time for Hotshot to give the flag over to Marines. Since Marines is going to basically be in the base the entire time, it makes more sense for me to give the flag to him. That's why I wanted Hotshot to give it to him, but unfortunately, right as he shifted and the flag was supposed to change hands, that's when we got clocked from behind by Unknown Exotic, and they made another capture right out of the blue. Oh my god, I get tired when that shit happens. Like, every time you try to get ready to swap the flag with somebody else, always gotta get clocked from behind by some dumb shit. By somebody that just happens to be in the right place at the wrong time. I honestly feel that at that particular interval, had Marines gotten the flag, because he was stuck down below the little thing for a second, so he wasn't able to actually hop up and get the flag like I had wanted him to, which is why I stopped and I positioned myself to stand there in his place so I would get the flag. Then I'm going to transform, I'm going to give it to him, I'm going to be off to the side, that way I can cover the right hand side, he can cover the left hand side while he's picking it up from me. Since Hotshot dropped it right there, I pick it up, then I drop it, I give it to him. I'm basically staying in the back with Marines the whole time. Bada bing, bada boom, we get the ball rolling and get a point up on the board. That way we switch up the strategies, and Hotshot can be up there with Star Adjutant in order to try and swipe his kills, and they can both easily sideswipe their flag runner. But unfortunately, that plan was not completely successful, I'm afraid. And in the end, T.A.C.T came up short at 5-0 in a straight loss. Next is moving on into round 2, which was Conquest on T.A.C.'s host. Here, since Numdies went on ahead and Marines wanted to continue to be the destroyer, I had an outline in order to run a destroyer strat. Star Adjutant messaged me in the T.A.C.T chat that he wanted to try and switch it up and be a scientist. Sentry scientist, so I went on ahead and let him be a sentry scientist, and I was able to play destroyer this time, so I was able to click my mindset back in for aggro destroyer play and to try to keep pushing forward as often and as consistently as possible. Here, I originally had laid out a modified sweeper strategy in order to have there be 2 destroyers along with 2 sentry scientists. That way they can run laps with sentry placements while the destroyers come in and back clean up. Sentry placement do the rest. That one was modified in order to incorporate a medic. I did not really pre-calculate to have a medic on the run, but it was given all the same. Hotshot was able to try his hand out at being the medic role, and this was his first time in a clan battle doing the medic role, which ended paying off rather adequately. He was fairly consistent for the most part. Response time, I think, could be a little bit better, but it was not bad at all. It did not drop anywhere, and it did not drop at any one point. The consistency between healing and picking his targets was more or less right on point, and I feel it was a very well done job for medic response time. The match here was a lot more closely fought. Everything here was more or less in sync with everybody. We were able to play off it and keep the strategy going for the double cap method and keep a genuine, moderately consistent buddy system in play here. Unfortunately, that match was also a loss too, with a very close score. I believe was it was around 470-ish to 390 something. We were just about to cap 400, I believe. But that was the end of that session, and so we lost the clan battle. And then from there, that's when we go into round 3, which was also on T.A.C.T, host, I believe. For a team deathmatch, that was on Abandoned. Here's pretty clear cut. The destroyer role was taken again by Star Adjutant and Numdies. So I went on ahead and became the designated medic. Hotshot became sniper point in order to try to use the map to his advantages in order to try to place added shots, which did work at a number of different times, and I felt it didn't work at other times, but the results did vary. Here I was able to consistently keep up with Ducky, which was Electro's medic, in order to continually keep application of health to all the people on the team and on board, and help with continual assisting of kills. My orbital pistol shots were more or less on point. I spent a good deal of time earlier practicing my pistol aim in order to make sure I could hit my shots for no scoping and for continual quick scoping. Predominantly quick scoping, which did work, but it wasn't able to get the job done effectively in the end, unfortunately. A lot of the destroyers were both very much on point, I do believe. Unfortunately, we came short on that one by about, I want to say about maybe 2 or 3 kills. It was a huge neck-and-neck game that happened on that. And, yeah, we did. We lost that one 40-38, which ended in Electro winning all three game modes presented. All in all, this was a pretty well done clan battle, and I like the fact that everything here was very clear and clean. There was no lag issue, no drama, no bullshit, no nothing. This was a very clear, crisp, clean clan battle. That's how this shit needs to be. Exactly like this. While it's unfortunate that none of us won any of the games, the fact that 2 out of 3 of those games were fought that closely in some pretty good highlight games, I will say, was honestly, that's worth it. That's worth it for me. All we gotta do is fight a little harder, and we'll get the next one. Anyway, that'll conclude my synopsis for the Electro and T.A.C.T Inc. clan battle. Y'all have a blessed one ahead out there. And as always, like I always say, you already know what I say, right? Till all are one.
Undying love you've given to me, seen in me things I would never have seen. I don't understand why you care so much. It's all a mystery.